35192. Want to send a text, AlanCoxShow.com. All the other stuff. Cavaliers are played tonight, 2 nights in a row. They lost here at home last night to Dallas, 121-12 to the Mavericks. They are in Atlanta tonight. 7:30 tip against the Hawks. So 7 o'clock on WMMS and the iHeartRadio app is when your pregame will begin. This is the first of the final 6 games of the regular season. 2 on the road, and then they got like 4 on the road and then 2 at home. I think they only have a couple of home games left. 2 home games remaining, the 3rd and the 10th, next 2 Sundays. If you listen to the show on iHeartRadio from outside Ohio, tell me where. Andy is one of our bureau chiefs in Atlanta. Mark listens in Bailey, Colorado. Drew is in Carnegie, PA. Matt is in Roswell, Georgia. Bob listens in Astoria, Oregon. By the way, if you're a fan of pornography, my condolences if you are a fan specifically of Raven Alexis, who has died at the age of 35. Are you a Raven Alexis fan?
I don't think I know her.
There's a lot of these girls that you might not know them by name. You know, if she's your favorite porn star, you're going to know her name. But what was that?
Falling asleep.
What?
I'm just kidding.
What happened over there?
My foot slipped.
Oh, God.
My head just hits the desk.
Mary's like having a seizure over here. Raven Alexis is dead at 35 following a battle with Crohn's disease.
I didn't know that could kill you.
I did not either.
That just made you poop. I'm thinking of colitis.
Well, but they're kind of in the same vein, Crohn's and colitis, yeah. I only know one person with that affliction. I know it's a lot more common than that, but just in my own life, I only know one person. But Raven Alexis died from, I think what she died from was an infection, but it came from Crohn's disease. She was 35 years old. She died in a hospital in Las Vegas. And her blood pressure just dropped, went through the basement, and she died.
Yeah, she went into septic shock.
So if you are, if you're a Raven Alexis fan, you might find yourself at half staff today in her honor. Of course, she started as an internet model. You know, she's kind of started on her own website and then went into some different, more mainstream things. But she's been in the biz for a while.
She's pretty.
Yeah, she's okay. She's cute. Mm-hmm. Boy, you gotta wonder. Porn years have to be like dog years. You know, I mean, like a year in porn, you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So if you've been in porn for a long time, man, you've done a lot of stuff. And if you're beset by Crohn's disease, there's a lot of things I suspect she wasn't doing, couldn't do.
She had a doctor's note.
She started in a series of porno parodies. She was in This Ain't Ghostbusters, the official Revenge of the Nerds parody. She notably won the Best All-Girl Group Sex Scene in 2011. And she won the Fan Award for Wildest Sex Scene about a decade ago. She had already survived stage 4 liver cancer.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And Crohn's knocked her out?
Yeah.
That had to be a combination of all of it.
So
she wasn't healthy.
Her immune system probably was
just gave out. Yep.
You can't fight off the infection when you get it.
Now, 10 years ago, she said that she had liver cancer, but then her boyfriend at the time said that that wasn't the case. But she never denied it. She said that she had chemo, and so there was a little bit of controversy there. But she is dead now.
Well, sepsis is the thing that almost killed Alex Smith, the quarterback, a few years ago because he got that operation on his knee and they got infected. And, it's...
I remember watching that 60 Minutes profile on him. I was like, oh, my God, this is wild. They didn't think he'd ever even walk again. So, so if you were a big Raven Alexis fan, you have our condolences, and, maybe bust one out in her honor tonight. Alan Cox Show After Hours line. So you want to drop a message there, you can do that. Anytime, 216-986-8903.
Hey, so I'm just trying to keep track for everybody at home what Mary is okay with and what she's not okay with. So what we have that she is okay with, being a sex defender, being an assault defender, because if you're having a bad day and somebody says something bad about you, you can physically attack them. But now, as of Wednesday's show, teenagers don't know what they're doing. So if they're throwing bricks off an overpass, hey, they're not old enough to know right from wrong. So that's okay, too.
Is that what you said?
No, I've never said any of these things.
He's 3-0 right now, I think.
No, I've never said
3-0.
any of these things.
3-0.
People do this.
What she's not okay with, we got magicians, small airports, Bill being a judge for the dance tryouts,
I like this
old
guy.
drivers, even though she has the worst driving record of anyone that's ever driven a car. But at least she caught that on that show. She was like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't even pass this if I was doing it. So she knows how ridiculous those things are. If she can kind of catch the other things she says with, just, telling little kids, oh, you deserve what you get, maybe if she starts to realize how insane those things are, we'd have a better show. One last thing, if she hates magicians so much, maybe they look out into the crowd and just think everyone is super hot, and that's why they lie to the crowd. Maybe if she takes that perspective, she'll like magicians. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay.
Quite a long diatribe there.
Let's just clear the air. I am not a sex defender. The story where this originated was a guy was naked at his home on Halloween. And on that day, I said, morally, I am against this. He is a creep. He is gross. But is he legally doing anything wrong? That was my question.
And
that makes me a sex
And the answer
defender?
was yes.
Okay, but I was just asking because I was like, could you be naked in your own house? Is that a felony just to be naked in your own house?
Well, it was-
Children see you,
So
being,
I'm not-
being the
and you were
variable.
already in trouble with children before.
I was not defending him, exposing himself. I was asking legally what the problem was.
And the answer was yes.
Will Smith, I said, I do not like that he did this. I'm not saying I condone smacking people, but we don't know the relationship between the two. We don't know what's been going on with him. He's had a rough couple years.
As if that matters in an assault case.
So I think, and what was the third one?
Third one was cinder blocks being
Yeah.
thrown
Oh.
off
Yeah.
overpasses
Well,
by teenagers.
Teenagers are bored, so
I'm not saying that these things are okay to do. I've never said that about any of these things, that I condone them. That I'm like, hell yeah, keep doing that, keep hurting people. I've never said that. I try to offer a different perspective because, yes, these things are wrong, but I feel like sometimes on this show, everyone is just keen to jump to, that's wrong, it should never be done, and then it's not thought about on how the person got there.
yeah. But what?
I'm not defending it, but instead of just being like, oh, that's wrong, let's move on.
Well, yes, we're skipping to the end because it doesn't matter how you got to assault
Or throwing a brick off.
or
of an
throwing a brick.
overpass.
It doesn't matter.
But it does.
No, that's for the doctor in juvenile detention to figure out. But for the purposes of,
but it's
is this
also-
right or wrong, it's unequivocally wrong.
And I always say, I don't agree with this. I think this is wrong. I think what they did is morally gross. But, and then that's where everyone wants to take umbrage. Because instead
Mary's
of just being
like, I'm just asking questions.
that is all I'm doing.
I'm just asking questions.
That's all I'm doing.
She's the Joe Rogan of the show. I'm just
Just
asking
asking
questions.
questions. I'm just asking
Does
questions.
ivermectin work?
That's
No.
it.
Unequivocally,
Just wanna
does
know.
not.
All I'm saying is, can I legally be naked in front of my window? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, when you have the information that we had, I feel like it's a pretty open and shut case that this guy was already in trouble for being a sex offender. So when he's answering the door on Halloween naked, that's maybe not the time to ask, can I be naked in my house?
I was not... am I not making sense?
Mary, why you bugging?
Does it not make sense that I can separate the two? I can
Yes.
say this is morally wrong.
Yes,
I
it does not
disagree
make
with
sense.
it.
Yeah.
He is a pedophile, gross person.
Right.
Yes.
But at the same time, say, is he doing anything illegal?
Well, he is.
He was.
Okay, and that was all the clarification that was there. And the same thing with the Will Smith. I
But
don't
you
agree
had,
with what he's
but
doing.
you had the same information we had, and for some reason we weren't confused about it.
because I didn't know it was illegal to be naked in your house.
It's not.
That's my
If
point.
Children can see you, and you have a
But
pre-existing.
there's nothing you can do if a kid comes up. Yes, Halloween.
Close
I
your
understand.
curtains.
He was
I understand.
presenting himself like that.
But that was my question.
You know,
My question-
I'm in my house naked a lot,
That's what
and
I'm
I've
saying.
never once been seen by a child.
But my question is, and again, with
I've
it being
managed to
Halloween,
keep this greatness away from children who happen to be walking by.
with it being Halloween, sure, you're gonna expect people at your door. But my whole question in that was like, if I'm naked and don't draw the shades, and a kid walks by, I didn't do anything wrong by being naked in my house. It's not my fault a kid walked
But
by
that's
my
not
house.
the situation we were talking about.
I understand that, and I said this situation is gross, but where is the legal line? That was my question, and you guys are like, "Oh, you love pedophiles," or whatever the hell
First
it's
of all,
turned into.
we didn't say that.
Yeah.
The audience grabbed that mantle and ran with it. Mary Santora, sex defender.
And again, not saying children should be allowed to throw bricks over an overpass, but I had a brother who had a lot of mental disorders and a lot of issues that were untreated in the 80s when his teachers would just call him the R word and throw him in a slow kids class. Like, I can understand how kids get to that point and don't have the foresight of this is going to cause harm. They are bored. They have things going on in their life, and they're acting out. I'm not saying it's okay.
Were teachers in the 80s calling kids in their class retarded?
Yes, my brother heard it from everybody. They would call him it to his face at parent-teacher conferences.
You think he would have gotten the message?
This is him, right? Well, you know what is so funny, and not to make this sad, but like my brother has said that he would like tell people in professional settings I'm retarded because he heard it his whole life. So like he would mess up at work and then tell his boss that and be like, "Oh, so sorry, I'm this." You know what I mean? And it took like years of therapy for him to get that out of his brain because my dad said it, his teachers said it, like all these people would tell him all the time, "You're an R word, you're never going to amount to anything. And you're going to end up in jail before you're 18," all that kind of stuff. So it took him years of therapy. So I'm not saying every kid acting out has problems like that, but I also think that some kids don't have the foresight to say, "Oh, this is a problem. This is going to cause so much harm and damage." They're just might be disturbed kids. And then I turn into, "Mary loves it. The criminal justice doesn't work. She thinks juvenile delinquents are fine."
Oh, boy.
Guys are annoying.
I would think by now you would understand how much our audience doesn't value nuance
Yeah.
in certain situations.
Frustrating.
It's more fun to just go right for that.
Well, I hate them.
Listen,
No,
I
I'm just
kind of
kidding.
had Mary Santora hates you, listener. I love you, right?
No, I
You've
love
provided
you
me a
too.
very nice life.
How weird is
Mary
that?
couldn't care less about you. She thinks you suck.
She loves
They
a
think I
kid
suck.
that will throw a brick over an overpass,
Here we
but she
go.
hates all of
Hates
you.
you.
Here we go.
That's right. Yep.
That's true. But I did laugh very hard when he was like, "Oh, she defends sex, but hates magicians."
I kind of had to have this not had to, but she brought it up in the conversation in the car yesterday morning taking my daughter to school. She said, "Can kids hurt people?" And I said, "Yeah." And I kind of got into this conversation with her about how it was a little above her pay grade, but we're sitting there talking about it, and whatever she understands, she will, and what she doesn't, it'll go away anyway. But I was like, kids can hurt people and
She's
have.
seen Home Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she meant like, can kids kill people? And I said,
Yeah.
yeah, kids have killed people. I said, but it's also a very weird area too, because some people want to treat kids who do grown-up things like grown-ups, but they're not.
Right.
Their brains are little walnuts, And that drives a lot of people crazy because some people are like, "Yep, they did something, put them in jail, or
Yeah.
give that 5-year-old the electric chair or whatever." It's not that, it doesn't work that way.
My boyfriend will get like that sometimes with his daughter. Well, he'll get frustrated, and I'll be like, "Yo."
After she kills a neighbor?
After she kills a neighbor, I'm like, "Bro, she's 6. She didn't know. We
Yeah.
taught her how to use the gun for inside purposes."
She didn't know that rock would crack the skull. Inside purposes.
You shoot this in the house only.
This is an inside gun. Are you paying attention? You're 6. You should know this by now. Inside gun. Poundcake staying at your house in this scenario? Or?
Chicken snacks.
I would come home, Cody's naked on my couch. He's got chips in his boobs.
That is one perk of being friends with someone or having a relative that has kids because their house is always filled with snacks. Fruit snacks.
They really are.
The Go-Gurts, the Lunchables.
Little snack-sized bags of chips.
The sugary cereal, like the Tricks. Like, they always got the best. And they're like, go ahead, have at it because it's less that my kids get to have. Like, not that their kids don't get to eat, but they don't want their kids all hyped up on the sugar and they'll just come home and destroy it. I was like, so I'll take these off your hands if you don't want these Go-Gurts. I really like Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt. It's so runny.
Oh, I love
Frozen.
it.
Put Go-Gurt in the freezer. Change your life.
I love a Go-Gurt.
I'm going to bet it
treat.
won't.
It's a nice treat.
Why wouldn't I just put like something that's supposed to be frozen in the freezer?
You can freeze.
No, I know you
Go-Gurt.
can, but why wouldn't you just have like something already frozen in the freezer? Why am I freezing Go-Gurt?
Because it's another
Frozen.
option.
Nice treat.
It's a frozen yogurt. Froyo, literally.
Yeah.
There's an entire business model based on what I'm describing.
Yeah, but I
The
feel
very
like
first guy who thought, I should put this in the freezer, he's a billionaire now.
I feel like frozen yogurt places always go out of business, though.
It depends on where you're at. You open one next to an ice cream store, yeah.
I just always see them. I mean, when's the last time you seen a TCBY?
Well, I mean,
Cedar Point.
those Menchies are all closed too, aren't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
That wasn't frozen yogurt though.
I think they were trying to brand themselves as like that's
I
what
thought they were.
That's what
Was
that's
it?
what yeah, that's what jammed up all those frozen yogurt places is they were trying to operate on the fringes of this is healthy.
Yeah.
But it's ice cream
Put gummy
basically.
worms on it.
Right, gummy worms and Reese's peanut butter cups.
Right.
But R.I.P. Menchie's, man, that place was no joke. They were
liked
smart too because you paid by weight.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, I'm having a $19 sundae.
Fine with me.
I don't care. Made it myself. So good."
So I'm
But didn't
sorry.
last.
I'm sorry for asking questions.
Never be sorry for asking questions.
I'm not sorry.
Just be sorry for ignoring the answers.
Don't ignore the answers.
Is this guy doing something illegal? Yes, he is.
And then when I ask,
I'm just saying.
No. And then when I ask what is illegal about it, and you guys are like, "Oh, it's naked," and I'm like, "Okay, but what law is he breaking?" You're like, "It's gross. How could you even ask
No,
that?"
the law was being naked in front of children.
And I understand that now.
That's the law.
I get
But
that
that
now.
was
That's
our
what we
answer.
said then.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Check the tape.
Oh, that was the day that you and I couldn't speak words,
Yes.
Bill. We were just going. Alan, in Ohio, a man can legally be considered nude if his genitals are clothed, but in a discernibly turgid state. That can't possibly be right.
Turgid.
That's got to be engorged. That's got to be.
So those are those compression pants. Like,
Well, so if I'm
you can see
walking
the
around
outline?
with a denim boner, like, or
No,
I got
not
some
denim.
I just bought a new pair of Eldridge Cleaver pants.
I'm telling you, it's probably those compression shorts because you really can see everything.
Or just
You're gonna get a ticket
sweatpants.
if I was gonna say you're gonna get a ticket if you're walking around in sweatpants.
Yeah,
Sweatpants
it's
are-
gross and naked.
That sounds like one of those you can't walk a duck without pants laws from the 1800s that are still on the books.
Might
No,
be.
sweatpants aren't the same
There's
thing.
still like the shiny shoes law, where if you wore shoes that had enough shine, you could get in trouble because you would be looking up a woman's skirt or something.
No,
That was a thing.
I think if your pants are so tight and so thin where you could see like the pubic area, then yeah, you could probably get a ticket for that. And in those compression shorts, you can literally see veins.
You could also probably sell tickets to that, depending on how you're hung.
Yeah, I've seen.
Public indecency ticket.
And I only know this because like I saw it for myself. I was like, this dude is literally walking around and you could see, like, I could see it, cap and everything, vein, like everything. And I was like, he is.
I thought you said no cap.
I wasn't capping when I saw his cap.
The bust a cap in his ass.
But that's ballsy, if you pardon the pun. I'm just like, you're just walking around just looking for attention.
Girls have. All right, whatever.
What? What, camel toe?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like what that or their no bras, nipples out, white T-shirts. Like,
But it's not, again, female nudity is way more accepted than male nudity. A guy can take a
And
shirt off.
rightfully so.
And guys showing their penis is generally like obscene. A girl
I'm
taking
just saying,
her top off
if I were to have on like no bra and a white shirt and you could see through it, and I were to get a ticket,
it's still not looked at as obscene. You could
and
be
I were to
topless
get
in
a
New York.
ticket, I'd be really mad. Or was that a compliment, madam?
At Pride, people
You
were
are exposed.
Madam, you are in a discernibly turgid state.
in Pride. You could be topless. In Columbus, there was plenty of girls walking around nipples
Yeah,
out.
just painted.
No,
You
just
can be
nipples out.
topless on Ohio beaches.
Yeah,
It's
so
not illegal.
That's what I'm saying. But
It's actually more dangerous just to be on the beaches.
in the water level, okay today, but don't show your nipples.
Yellow flag.
I have to have a foot amputated now. Alan, my boss, calls me retarded and a liberal faggot.
Yeah. People still do that, man.
Your boss?
My brother, I'm telling you,
What is going on out there?
He has been in extensive therapy for a long time.
Is this the one who doesn't know how many hours are in the day?
No. To try to deprogram himself from everything he was told. It was way worse in the 80s and 90s. Way, way worse. And 2000s,
Well, deprogramming's tough.
Hello, Earth Boy. It's me, Short Circuit.
Just go away.
Beep bop boop. Beep bop boop.
All right, I got a break. Want to text for something? 35192, AlanCoxShow.com. And you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio